Greetings, great minds. My name is Emmanuel and I'm your host today. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a weekly report of the challenge I started recently, which is to trade a $40 account to $1,000. Okay, so the $40 in question is not literal money, it's actually a funded account, a 5K funded account, and I blew the account down to $40. So in real sense, I've literally blown the account. The account is gone. After the incident, I went back and stopped trading for a while, back tested my strategy, and finally reinforced and came back to the market with a better and better concept to work with, right? So now, then I said to myself, why not pick it up as a challenge and build that $40 that is remaining? So it means the account now is remaining $4,441. And once that account hit 4,400, the account will be blown completely. So it means I only have $41 there. So that is what I'm referring to as $40 approximately. So the goal now is to build it to 5,500, which will mean I am literally going to make a profit of $950 from that $40 in order for this to work out. So literally, I'm taking a $40 account to $1,000. So that is the challenge I decided to take on, guys, and I have been on this throughout this week. Today is Saturday already, and I traded from Monday to Friday on that account, and right now I want to show you the result for the first week of this challenge, and as well let you guys see the software that I told you guys I'm going to be working on for me to use on my trading journey, which as soon as things begin to turn out right, I'm going to host it on a public server where everyone can have access to it and use it. But for now, it is hosted on my local server for now. All right, so let me show you guys the software. This is just my dashboard when I log in. Very simple and easy. Well, I will not be doing a total walkthrough on this software, but for now, let's just go straight to showing you guys the weekly report. So to check my report, I'll come to FX Journal, then go to performance, go to performance metrics, and as you can see, this is the report for the default. So this is more like the back testing stuff I was doing. So this is the report for the back testing. So let's go straight to the challenge I took from this week. So on Monday was 23rd, right? So and then we choose from Monday to Friday, and then the table is real funded 40 USD. So that's the account I'm talking about. So I'll click on submit, and right now it brings up all the results from Monday to Friday of this specific challenge, this specific account I'm trading. So you can see the win rate is 50% win rate, and my profit ratio, risk to reward ratio is 1 to 2. You can see it. I risk 77 pips and I expect to gain 14 pips if everything goes well. So my risk to reward is 1 to 2. All right, let's quickly go down without wasting your time at all and start from on Monday, which is 23rd. So before we come to all this, let's go back to the top and check the columns. Let me show you the most important columns. Here is the volume. So let's look at volume. So let's go down to the first trade I took. So I traded 0.01 lot size now, and as you can see, I risked 7 pips but I gained 6 pips. So let's check why that happened. I said price moved up to 17 pips, so I could have bagged 1 to 2 ratio in profit, but fear and emotion took over me, and at a little pullback I came out at 6 pips. Though this is my first trade after my reinforcement, so I was a bit nervous. So the thing is, I wasn't even prepared. I have done my back testing quite alright. I did my back testing, confirmed my strategy and everything, set up all the parameters for my strategy, all the rules for my strategy. But what I failed to do was to set up my money management strategy for that week. I was procrastinating it a little bit because it was quite easy. All I need to do is just go to my risks management calculator right here, and then I will just input the parameters, and boom, I will get the lot size I was to be trading. It's as simple as that. So because of that, I didn't really bother myself much with it during the time when I was on my reinforcement period. So and then Monday approached, and yeah, I looked at the chart. My setup has formed. I quickly went in and took the trade with 0.01, which I perceived to be safe. But however, after this particular trade, I realized the lot size was wrong and everything was just wrong. So it's one of the reasons why I even became scared and I just came out of the trade. So you know that kind of thing when you are not really relaxed and all of that. So after the trade, I went to my lot size calculator and I tried to work on the actual lot size I should be trading. So but the issue then was there was still a problem because I choose to trade 20% to risk 20% of my account, and as you can see I was advised to trade with 0.11 lot. So and that was exactly what I did. You can see I did that exactly here, but there was still a problem with that because I was quite risking a lot. I was risking over 20% of my account. So let's see how that affected my trading. So my report here said price moved up to 28. Price moved up to 28 pips. So I could have bagged 1-to-4 ratio in profit, but my emotion came in heavily since the price was consolidating on entry for a while and I went in with more than I'm supposed to. So fear of losing 20% of my account came in and I exited early. What I learned here is to just use minimum, meaning minimum risk. So the thing that happened on this particular trade I remember vividly is that after I've gone into the trade, I realized, come on, 20% of my account is quite a lot. It means if I lose just 5 times, the account is blown. And really, that's not a good thing because that will not allow my strategy to be able to trade enough in order for it to prove its profitability. 5 trades is just too small. But though I did that initially because of the high win rate that the strategy have based on my back testing result that gave me up to 88%. But however, when I was in the trade, that was when it really do occur to me that 20% risking 20% at a time is too much. You know, it will not allow me to be able to trade enough to really confirm the profitability of my strategy. So I just came out. When that occurred to me, I came out from the trade on profit immediately because it's better to come out in profit than to allow myself to lose 20% of my account. So I came out at 10 pips profit, and as you can see, this was the money I made. I made 9.3 USD on that trade. All right, so the next trade I decided to fix this problem by allowing myself to trade with just 10% of my account. So by trading with 10% of my account, it means I give myself the opportunity to trade 10 times before finally losing the account. If at all my strategy could not help and I'm going to lose it, then it means 10 trades and I'll blow it up. So as a result, I think this is quite better for me. At least in 10 trades, if I'm able to win 4 in 10 trades and lose 6, I'll still be fine. So you know that means my strategy is 40% win rate. I could still be fine. So I decided to go with this option to risk only 10% in a trade. So I came back, adjusted it and push it, and it gave me 0.057. So I decided to round this up to 0.06, and as you can see going forward, that is what I continue to use. You can see 0.06, 0.06, 0.06. So that was what I continue to use throughout my trading, and I'm going to stick with it, just risking 10% of my capital each time. All right, that is it with how I come about my money management. As you can see, we learn while we trade. First trade, I learned something. Second trade, I learned something and I implemented it, and that gave me the perfect account size I should be using on my trade. You know, sometimes you could just sit down and write strategies and everything, but when you enter into the market and begin to experience the emotion firsthand, then you could really shape your stuff to a level that I would call perfect, right? So that is it. So let's go to the third trade. This is the third trade I took. I used the 0 point stuff. So let's see what happened. Let's see my comment on that trade. Price moved up to 4 pips and reversed to hit my SL. This wasn't a high probability trade. though, because it wasn't a major low and it was close to the Asian low. If you understand my strategy, you understand what this means, but this is not a video to explain my strategy. But the point is, I made a loss because it wasn't a high probability setup in the first place. So that was a loss right there, and I lost $4.2. So the next trade I took another trade again. Let's see the dates. The date was 27th. Oh, I think this date is wrong. This should be 25th, guys, not 27th. So I think there was an issue here or something. Maybe I edited the price manually. I don't know how this came about, but yeah, this should be 25th. Okay. So on the 25th, what happened? I said justified win, can't trace how long price went again. Okay, I think this is even where the issue came. I did not journal this on time. That's why I couldn't trace how long price went. So I didn't journal this the day I traded it. I guess I wrote this journal on 27th, because normally the date is usually automatically generated from the software. So I didn't journal this the same day. So I called it a justified win because the setup was just a justified one. So as you can see, I won 8.40. So I'm risking 4.2 to win 8.4, which is of course risking 1 to get 2. So that is it. The next trade I took was broke even. I broke even on this trade. Let's see why I broke even. If I wrote anything about it, wasn't a major liquidity zone, so I broke even with small profit. Okay, so I've actually gone into the trade before it occurred to me rightly that it wasn't a major liquidity zone. And of course, maybe I saw some pattern that the price is it's not going to really move down, so or move up, depending on if it was a buy or sell. And I decided to break even. So that was a smart move though. So I broke even on that, and I broke even with some small profits, just $1. And that was a buy trade actually. That was a buy trade. So the next trade here is this one. So it was a loss. I lost the trade. So let's see my comment on it. Simply a justified loss. Okay, meaning this loss was justified. Okay, meaning the setup was right, everything was accurate. I went in, but yet I lose it. So it's a good one. It's a good one right there. The most important thing is to watch how much I lost. Just 4.2 was what I lost. So the next day is this day. This seems to be a win, but okay, look at it here. It's a win. So I won. I made 8.4. You see, this is the most important thing: the consistency of the losses and of the wins. So I'm losing 4.2 and I'm getting 8.4. That is the most important thing to pay attention to. So what was it? So I said trading during news was a terrifying event. Don't do that again, as you lack the experience to survive in such market. Unjustified win. Wow. So I actually unjustified this win. The reason I unjustified this my win is because it was during news period. Do you know that all this trade happened in less than 5 minutes? Opening the trade, going to my, what am I, 5 minutes? Let's say less than 1 minute, everything has happened. Let's check the time frame. My time frame is 5 minutes. So within that 5 minute time frame, so just one candle build is what opened the trade and what took me to profit. So to me, that wasn't really a sweet experience. Like I just blinked an eye. The way the whole thing happened, right? I was sitting before my computer and the trade came in. Like I just looked away from my computer. When I would look back again, I saw that I couldn't even explain what happened. I had to like look carefully, and I realized that the trade has come true. So it went to my way, that's true, but sincerely speaking, it was really an unjustified win. The reason is because I was trading during news. Now, is it that the news caught me unaware? No, I knew there was a news coming, but the news wasn't the one that usually move. It's not the one that usually make the price volatile. So that's why I decided to trade it. But unknown to me that it was really going to move price abnormally. So it made price very volatile, and so I decided that I'm not going to be trading during news at all, regardless of the kind of news. I will not trade during that time because my strategy does not really permit it. As you can see, I'm only using 7 pips. 7 pips stop loss. 7 pips stop loss is too small to trade news with. So that's why I'm not going to be trading news. And I have to write this down. to remind myself about it. All right, let's move forward quickly. Next trade I took was a loss. Okay, it was a losing trade. So let's see what happened. If I have any comment on that, with how poor the price was moving today, I shouldn't have traded again after that previous win. So I think it's the same day with this day. Let's check. It's the same day on 27th. So after I have made this winning, I think what happened, I think that same day I made a loss. The first trade I took was a loss. So I traded the second one and I made a win. I wasn't supposed to trade again. And the price have not been moving really well that very day. So wait a minute. No, I think there's a problem. I think there's a problem here. Oops. This whole date thing has been manipulated. I can't really tell what's going on here. Okay, the reason this happened was I think during that day I edited something here. So it means if I edit it, it will put the date I edited it. It will not retain the previous date. Wow, I have to go and adjust this on the I will have to adjust this on the software. It just occurred to me now. So that is what manipulated the date like this. So from now we'll stop working with the date. So let's just move forward. The next trade I took though, the price was going wrongly that day, but I guess it's the same day with this day that I made a profit. That's why I said I shouldn't have traded again after that previous win. Price took me out and then went my direction. So the price wasn't really moving well the day, probably just up and down, up and down. So I made a loss right there. The next trade again I took was a loss, justified loss. Price later went my way after long consolidation, so it was a justified one. So the last trade I took, these two trades I recall vividly, was on Friday morning, Friday later in the day. So and later that day I made another winning on Friday. So in case you are wondering why I made a profit of 9.3 here instead of 8.4, I intentionally moved my take profit to 15 pips instead of 14. The reason is to cover with, remember I've made a series of losses, so I needed to be sure that after taking their commissions I will be left with up to 8.4 exactly. And as you can see, and from my projection I knew price was going to reach these 30 pips because that was where the next liquidity was residing. So just increasing my TP with 1 pip wasn't a problem for me at all. So I did it and everything went well. You see, justified win. Price later went down to 32 pips. That's the journal for the week, and I hope you find this interesting. So my win rate for this week is 50%. So it means I think up to 10 trades. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, out of 10 trades I won 5 and I lost 5. So that is it about it, and as you can see I am still profitable. So let's check my balance. Remember the balance I started with $41.60 and I closed the week with $60.54. This almost 50% profit. Almost 50, at least 40 something percent profit is what I made for under 1 week. So this is a good one for me, and next week we go again. All right, thanks for watching, and if you like this software, you want me to make it public so every other person can have access to it, just let me know in the comment section and I will start working towards making that happen. For now I'm still just using it alone, and and whenever I notice anything I will go and make the improvement to it. Just like this one I noticed, now I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to do it this morning right away so that this whole mess will not be happening again. All right, if you have any comment, drop it in the comment section and we'll have more time to communicate.